Hi, everybody. I'm Bev Murray with Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices, Florida Realty, and I welcome to the latest part of our Get Real series. I thought it might be interesting and certainly fun for me to interview my husband, Steve Murray, who's president of Murray Homes, a high-end construction company here in town. You'd also be amazed at how difficult it is to actually get an appointment together, but here he is. So, Steve, please introduce yourself and what you do. Tell us about the business.
Well, I'm Steve Murray. I've been president of Murray Homes for the last 25 years. We do new construction, we do remodeling, and we do aftermarket maintenance.
Okay. Any niche? I mean, from people may not know that you typically specialize in high end.
Yeah, for the last 25 years, we've been concentrating on the upper end of the custom market. We found pretty early on when we set the business up that the waterfront and the flood zone issues and the size of houses and the complexity of the designs was something that we were pretty much drawn to and did a good job of working through. So we've completed about 180 projects over that period of time. And most of those have been on the waterfront. If not on the waterfront, then they are in areas of higher affluence, some areas west of the trail, in the Lake Club, certain areas that require an understanding of size of lot, for example, or complexity of construction.
Okay. And what is the current state of play in the high-end new construction business?
I think since COVID, obviously COVID was a massive change in the world, but also very specifically in Sarasota in the way that the custom and home building market is structured. I think we were considered as essential workers, which was great. So where a lot of businesses and entities were shut down, we carried on and we went from strength to strength, both in the new construction side of things, but also in remodeling. So I think what we're seeing right now is the market is a little bit off, I would say. There's been less transactions occurring, and obviously new construction requires transactions in the real estate marketplace to allow for people to say, okay, I want to tear this down. I want to find an architect and a builder and go through the process of planning in order to start again. So with slightly less volume in the high-end market, I think we're seeing less construction, but that's pretty much universal. I do a lot of relationship work with my professional teammates, architects, engineers, and everybody's finding the same thing. I don't think it's a long-term thing. I think it's going to be coming out the other side of the election. I think the marketplace is probably going to sort itself out, and we're going to see a good, healthy season again.
So one thing that I would say that I've had in conversations with long-term clients is that they're now, because of the cost of land has obviously skyrocketed since COVID, cost of materials, I know you can speak to that, has increased significantly. So a lot of them are perhaps thinking, well, okay, well, maybe I don't really want to move, but maybe I can improve where I am. Are you seeing that the new construction is being sort of supplemented or even overtaken by the remodeling?
Remodeling definitely came to the forefront during COVID because I think everybody was stuck in their houses looking around going, okay, well, this house needs a paint job. We need a new kitchen. We need some new floors. Oh my goodness, look at this outdoor kitchen. So where we thought the phone was going to dry up, it actually started ringing off the hook, and it led us to lead towards more of a remodeling division and to offer high-end remodeling to our clients, renovations, remodeling. The difference between the two is one is tearing apart and adding. Another one is making good within what you currently have. So we've seen pretty much an explosion in both of those areas where clients have said, rather than tearing down, having to pay high dollars for a new waterfront or a new lot, then going to an architect and having to deal with the inflated construction prices, we'd much rather, look at where we are, renovate where we are, and create something new, because they may have had a change in circumstance, a retirement, kids off to college, and people are looking at their houses slightly differently. So yes, it's been a change in the marketplace. There's still plenty of new construction that's occurring. I would say in our end of the market, the houses are getting bigger. They're getting more expensive. The land has pretty much doubled in price over the last 5 years, and construction has gone up about 40% as well. So the overall dollar values of new construction is really out of sight compared to what it was pre-COVID. And that obviously reduces down your marketplace. You have a more affluent individual that needs to be paying for this and understanding. And so the demographics of who is tearing down and building is completely changed.
Right. So, when somebody is looking to find a parcel of land or an existing home that's ripe for tear down, how do you like the process to be? And obviously from my point of view, how important are realtor and builder relationships in making that project come to fruition?
Well, relationships are the biggest thing, and a relationship with the first of all, the realtor to the owner, and then the realtor to the builder, and the builder to an architect. Because if you don't understand what you're looking at with raw material, you can advise a client with the wrong house or the wrong piece of land. For example, we've had several times over the years, we've got involved with clients who have said, please come and look at this house and tell me if there's a good opportunity to tear it down and rebuild, or to remodel. And we will come in, take a look at the house and say, this house has great construction bones. You can do pretty much what you want to it. Or we've said, no, this is a tear down. There's too much going on that is wrong. The flood zones have changed. The regulations have changed for wind and for velocity zone. And so, don't bother trying to remodel this. You've got to tear it down and start again. So unless you know that, or bring in an entity or an individual or a company that can help you with that, you can fall down by not knowing what you're looking
at. Right. Okay. You've alluded slightly, but what's your prediction on where the market is going and how your business will adapt to that?
Well, I think what we're seeing right now, and this is really my opinion, I do a lot of research and looking at our location. Sarasota within Florida is a very specific market, and we have been on the radar of quite a lot of other towns and cities that are saying, well, if we're going to have another COVID, we'd like to be by the beach. We'd like to be on the waterfront. So I think we are slightly in a bubble compared to a lot of other places. We don't get subjected to the same kind of market forces that are pushing and pulling sales and buying and selling. So from that point of view, I think such things as the election can be a blip in the cycle. People are looking at what's going on. They're pretty much saying, I think right now, okay, let's wait to see whether we get a red or a blue, and how does that affect me? How does it affect my taxes or my outlook? And so I think that's holding us back a little bit. I think the stock market has had a couple of scares where we've woken up on a Monday morning and there's been a big sell-off, and everybody says, well, this is the big crash coming, and then 3 weeks later we're pushing the boundaries of record heights again. So I think, all that said, there is just a little bit of reticence in the marketplace to jump before the end of the year. I think we are going to turn the calendar year and be successful with the sales and people coming back down once we get out of hurricane season. Another thing we're looking at is this was the highest number of projected hurricanes to come to our area, or supposedly to our area, in history. And a lot of people are saying, well, let's get that out of the way. And then if we're still all standing at the other side of it, or if all the houses have blown over, we can come in and pick up the pieces. So I think that comes into it as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think you and I have both seen enough ups and downs in the market to know that, you know, there are a lot of things that remain permanent about Sarasota, you know, not least of which is the beautiful beaches and the weather. You know, it doesn't take long when you've had a few, you know, cold snaps up north to go, you know what, I really do, as I, you know, move on in my life, I really do want some sunshine. And then we've got all the cultural activities and all the restaurants and everything. And you know, the downtown area keeps growing and thriving. So yeah, I'm with you. I think that it tends to take a little bit of a slowdown in a run up to an election cycle. And then really, irrespective of the outcome, the phones start ringing and we get back to normal a little bit. So one last question. What do you love most about what you do?
Well, we just recently brought interior design in-house because it allows us to be you know, very fluid in terms of how we operate. It gives us the opportunity to work with our clients, both from an estimation standpoint, a time standpoint, a detail and design standpoint, and really understand what they're looking for. We don't take the drawings on board. We still have our architects that we work with and have done for a long time. But what I love is designing, taking an empty lot and understanding what the client is looking for, understanding about their lifestyle, the number of kids they've got, grandkids, their hopes and dreams, how do they live? Are they golfers? Are they boaters? And really saying, okay, this is what you're saying to us. This is what you're projecting how you want to live your life, but how do you get there? And you need to bring experts in to say, okay, what you need is this kind of house, this kind of size, and this is how it's going to operate. At the same time, you've got to understand money and you've got to understand time. So adding all of those together, you know, gives hopefully the client the advice and the understanding as to how to pull the trigger to get exactly what they want. Right.
And it must be exciting for you to be involved right from the start to the end, and you know, however long that takes for them to have what they set out wanting and what they end up with all coming to life. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a meeting this afternoon with an architect. It's the first design meeting. We're looking at the first concept phase of a 5,000 square foot house, and that's exciting. I want to see that house. Right. I want to see his interpretation of the wish list and, you know, the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and requirements within the actual design, and that's fun. You know, an understanding from an experience level. You know, we've got 180 projects under our belt. We know what we're looking at, and hopefully we can advise our clients quickly and effectively.
Cool. Good. All right. Well, thank you for making the time to see your wife.
Yeah. What's for dinner?
That's on you, mate. Bye. Thank you. Bye.